Hello and welcome to Chabot News for October 10th, 2024. My name is Greg Driskell, and today we'll be covering the closing of a popular wax museum, a fire that occurred in San Leandro, and the grand opening of In-N-Out Burger, as well as Sprouts grocery store in the city of Hayward. In entertainment news, Joshua Hernandez will tell you all about how the group Pink Floyd plans to sell their catalog to Sony. And finally, in sports news, Julian Saldate Ramirez has the latest updates on Chabot College cheerleader team. All that and more coming up in today's edition of Chabot News. Madame Tussauds, the popular Fisherman's Wharf attraction, has permanently closed its doors. The company confirmed Thursday, October 3rd. The Wax Museum closed on August 3rd after 10 years in business at the wharf. Prior to Madame Tussauds, the museum was operated as the Wax Museum of San Francisco, which had been a staple on Fisherman's Wharf for more than 50 years. We are immensely grateful to our guests, teams, and the community for their unwavering support over the last decade. The community said in a statement, no reasons were given for the closure. The company has 23 other locations, with the closest U.S. location in Hollywood and Las Vegas. And now we have our top 5 news segments with fellow reporter Jasmine Bester.
Thanks, Greg. As Halloween approaches, I thought it'd be interesting to give my take on some of my favorite scary movies. The number 5 spot goes to the film Piranha 3D. A lot of scary movies tend to have sharks as the mammal of choice to be the antagonist of the film. Piranhas being the reasoning behind college kids getting attacked at a beach during spring break is just a bit more interesting to watch. The number 4 spot goes to Sorority Row. This is underrated and happens to be a favorite of mine. Sorority Row follows 5 college girls who fall victim to a deadly stalker after one of their friends dies from a prank gone wrong. At number 3, the scary movie that didn't receive enough promotion and credit would be the movie Spell. This film was released during the 2020 pandemic. Spell follows a man being trapped in an attic after being wounded from a plane crash. The woman who owns the house he can't escape out of claims she can nurse him back to health using a hoodoo figure made from his own blood and skin. The number 2 spot will go to Child's Play. Brad Dourif did an amazing job supplying the voice for the doll Chucky. I thought this movie was ahead of its time for it to have been released in 1988. Child's Play is without a doubt considered a cult classic. The scary movie that gives all the thrills and would be a shame for me not to mention, the body of work that needs no introduction, the horror of all horrors. Without a doubt, the number 1 spot goes to Michael Jackson's short film music video, Thriller. What's there not to love about Thriller? From the red jacket to the amount of money and time spent on producing this masterpiece, and the innovative dance moves co-choreographed by Michael Peters and Jackson himself. Thriller is in heavy rotation, especially during Halloween season. Well, that's all I have for this week's Top 5 news segment. I'm Jasmine Bester, and now back to you, Greg.
Thanks, Jasmine. Alameda County firefighters extinguished a 2-alarm fire in San Leandro on Monday, September 30th. Officials say the cause of the fire is under investigation, but seems suspicious. 2 families were displaced from the fire on the 900 block of Williams Street. Firefighters were called to the scene at 7:25 p.m. Officials said when the fire department arrived, they said a single-family home was on fire and the other structures were threatened. One of the buildings was unoccupied. No injuries were reported, but 2 families were displaced. The Red Cross is responding to assist those who need help. Hayward turned out in a big way last week to celebrate the opening of Sprouts Farmers Market at Mission Boulevard at West Harder Road, completing a decades-long effort to bring a specialty grocery store to the city. The new Sprouts, which opened its doors at 7 a.m. Friday, September 27th, now anchors the new Hayward Retail Center on the grounds of the old Kmart site. Sprouts joins new Raising Cane's, In-N-Out Burger, and Starbucks location at the center, with the Ross and Home Goods on the way. The arrival of Sprouts, one of the fastest growing retailers in the country, expands access to fresh, healthy food options in Hayward and creates more than 100 new local jobs opportunities. The occasion was kicked off with a ribbon-cutting ceremony drawing more than 650 attendees and was celebrated all weekend long with a variety of activities, including contest giveaways and seasonal produce tastings. In announcing the opening last month, Sprouts said the new store, open daily from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., will donate groceries no longer fit for sale, but perfectly edible and nutrient-rich to the Alameda County Food Bank. And now we have entertainment news with our sports reporter, Joshua Hernandez.
Thanks, Greg. Are you a fan of classic rock? Iconic British rock band Pink Floyd has reportedly agreed to sell their music catalog along with their name and likeness rights to Sony. The UK's Financial Times reported the historic $400 million deal on Tuesday. According to sources, ownership of the band's likeness means Sony would profit from the sale of merchandise and future movie deals. The deal limits Sony rights to the band's recorded music. Sony will not have the rights to the band's songwriting. Pink Floyd has reportedly been trying to sell the catalog for several years. Our reporter Cole Wagner spoke to Chabot students and staff to get their opinion on the latest Sony acquisition and similar deals in the recent past.
I don't think it's a good idea. And that's because I'm not sure about what the intentions or integrity, what the uses would be.
It's kind of like a threat, like how will they use this? How will it influence others as well?
Well, although many of the songs in the 90s go don't sell out, but in retirement and the streaming wages that artists are being paid, if you do have a large back catalog of music, I think it's a really good way to cash in on the work you've already done again.
It's big fish eating the small fish. So it's like you take away the creativity, the small business feel of everything, you know? It's like your local small business becoming into a McDonald's.
Thanks, Cole. Pink Floyd joins the likes of Queen and Bruce Springsteen as major artists now owned by the Sony music label. When a weekend features just one big new movie, it's usually not a matter of whether it will top the box office, but how much money it will make. David Daniels has this weekend's answer with the latest box office estimates.
Mom, something's not right with him.
Speak No Evil stayed in 5th place, taking in $2.8 million. Transformers 1 slid to 4th, adding $5.4 million to its total. Beetlejuice took 3rd place, scaring up $10.3 million for a domestic total of $265.5 million. The Wild Robot lost the top spot, but stayed strong in 2nd with $18.7 million.
For once in my life, I didn't feel so alone anymore.
Joker Folie Deux easily debuted number 1, but the supervillain sequel opened with just $40 million, less than half of the 2019 original's debut. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Thanks, Daniel. Joker Folie Deux is a sequel to the 2019 film Joker. That's all for entertainment news this week. I'm Joshua Hernandez. Now back to you, Greg.
Thanks, Joshua. The Bay Area is home to In-N-Out's newest location. On Thursday, the popular chain marked the grand opening of the new restaurant in Hayward. The restaurant is located at 709 Harder Road, has one drive-through lane and indoor seating for 84 customers and a covered patio with outdoor seating that can accommodate up to 28 people. About 80 new jobs had been created for this location, with associates earning a starting wage of $23 an hour, according to the fast food company. The Southern California-based chain has been in operation for more than 75 years, with the location in 7 other states: Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Texas, Oregon, Colorado, and Idaho. In-Out's the new Hayward location marks its 38th restaurant in the Bay Area. The region lost its only Oakland restaurant back in March, which closed its doors due to the high crime and the area that affected customers and employees. Authorities in Kentucky are investigating the death of a woman. The victim was discovered on a piece of property in Mount Olivet Wednesday afternoon. Peyton Marshall has details.
We have a death investigation at this time right now. We're in the infant stages of that investigation.
Police say they received a call just before 12:30 Wednesday afternoon of a dead body in Robertson County.
And we received a call from somebody at this residence that doesn't live here, but had come to the residence of a possible death on the property.
That's when police responded and found a woman dead in the backyard of a home on Briarly Ridge Road.
We did find a deceased person. The house was locked and secured, so we backed out and secured the property, and we obtained a search warrant for the property, and our special response team is here now executing that search warrant on the house.
According to a press release, troopers attempted to make contact with a female inside the residence, but received no response.
The house was secured when the troopers approached it. Couldn't get anybody to come out, so backed out, obtained a search warrant, and now we're executing that search warrant.
That's when they say a search warrant was obtained for the property, and the special response team was activated to serve the warrant. Police did not say whether they suspect foul play, but say they do not believe there is a threat to the public.
Thanks, Peyton. Police have since made an arrest in connection to the case. Kentucky's state police say 32-year-old Torlina Mae Fields faces several charges, including obstructing government operations, tampering with physical evidence, and abuse of a corpse. A lot of us don't clean out the fridge and freezer as often as we should. Some of the stuff in there is really old, but a woman in Virginia may have us all beat. She's sharing the story of a decades-old food item found in freezer-baked before the U.S. entered World War II. Kayla Brown has the details.
When her mother passed away, the freezer was the last place Lisa Wiseman expected to find an heirloom. In a moment of overwhelming grief, the Wiseman family found a little bit of joy, an 84-year-old Biscuit.
She was a neat freak, and she'd clean things up that didn't need to be cleaned. But she kept that. The note says, Biscuit made by Mrs. Dora L. Chambers on August 1940 at the Blankenship home. It was my mother's brother's wife's grandmother.
The biscuit originally belonged to Wiseman's Uncle Harold, but still, the burning question, why keep a singular frozen biscuit?
we thought maybe he was in the Army and she sent it to him because Mrs. Chambers died in 1940, but he wasn't really in the Army until 1941, so that theory was gone. So we really don't know.
That question may never be answered, but at least future generations will have a story to tell.
What's next for the biscuit?
Oh, I'm going to put it in my freezer, and my sons will have to divide it up when I'm gone.
Thanks, Kayla. The family may or may not eventually solve the mystery of the frozen biscuit. Until then, they'll keep the odd heirloom on ice. Taco Day isn't just a day for eating tacos, but also a day of great celebration. It's a National Taco Day. October 2nd is the day to chow down on the tasty delight, hard shell or soft shell, stuffed with whatever your heart desires, some gooey cheese, delectable meat, or seafood, veggies, beans, a dollop of sour cream, or some salsa with a kick. There are savory tacos and dessert tacos. As you probably know, we have Mexico to thank for tacos. So why the word taco? That's not really clear, but suggested origin in the word taco, a taco, means stuff or to stuff. National Taco Day started in 2009. No one's taking credit, but whoever it is, we thank you. Now it's time for the latest update on sports news with Julian, our sports reporter, Saldate Ramirez.
Thanks, Greg. Chabot Sports have been supplying the excitement so far as gladiator football, soccer, and wrestling continue to have winning seasons. But who's been supplying the school spirit? We sent our reporter, Cole Wagner, onto the turf to find out.
Cheerleaders at a college football game may not seem like a surprising sight, but if you're like me, then you may not have known that even Chabot has its very own cheer squad. Team captains Ariana Morgan and Lauren Sudiakal explain how Chabot Cheer came together this year.
I miss cheerleading, and so when I saw the flyer, I couldn't believe that I could cheer a lot sooner than I thought I would. And we were a small team, so I invited Ari to take over, and that's when we had tryouts this summer, and now we have a bigger team.
The team is a small group with less than 10 members, but they each bring a unique cheerleading background to the squad.
I saw this opportunity to do it at Chabot, so I was just like, man, I should really do it, because I really wanted to do it in high school, but I was already filled with other activities.
When I found out that Chabot had a cheer squad, I wanted to join, so I DM'd their Instagram page, and then they were really open when it came to letting me know when tryouts were.
Cheerleading is not recognized as a sport by the California Community College Athletic Association, but for many colleges and universities, resources like coaching and travel funds are provided for by the school. For the Chabot Cheer Squad, things are a little more independent. They've utilized fundraisers and the money from their own pockets to keep things going.
I know at Chabot we're recognized more as a club since we're student-run, but I think that's kind of one of the things that make us unique, is because it's our own efforts that's put into every cheer, every halftime, all the outfits we had to do ourselves. So it's a lot of hard work, but I think that's what makes it special.
And being entirely student-run doesn't stop them from bringing as much spirit as they can to every game.
What makes us unique too is because since we're like kind of small, we still know how to make like the crowd like hype.
I think we bring like a really positive attitude and like an outlook on sports and on ourselves and like everything we do.
Despite their humble beginnings, the current members of the squad have high hopes for the future of Chabot Cheer.
Yeah, maybe a coach in the future, maybe considered as a sport in the future. And I hope that the future of Chabot Cheer stays very positive. Our next tryouts for the next cheer season are going to be in spring of 2025. So feel free to follow our Instagram for updates. 1, 2, 3. Chabot TV!
I'm Cole Wagner, reporting for Chabot News. Now back to you.
Thanks, Cole. Ariana and her squad would like to see Chabot cheer grow by next season. They encourage anyone looking to join the Chabot cheer team to contact Chabot College Cheer on Instagram for more details. Basketball Hall of Famer Dikembe Mutombo died Monday following a battle with brain cancer. The National Basketball Association says the 58-year-old Mutombo was surrounded by his loved ones in his final moments. Born in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Mutombo came to Washington's Georgetown University on an academic scholarship in 1987. He rose to fame when he joined the basketball team in his second year. Mutombo was selected fourth in the 1991 NBA draft by the Denver Nuggets. That began what would turn out to be a remarkable 18-year pro career, with 6 teams for the 7'2" center. The 8-time NBA All-Star was inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in 2015. Known for his famous finger wag when blocking a shot, Mutombo also won the league's Defensive Player of the Year award 4 times, and retired second on the NBA's all-time blocking shots list. Off the court, Mutombo was known for his humanitarian work. In the late 90s, he established the Dikembe Mutombo Foundation with a mission to improve education and quality of life in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Baseball lost a legend today. The Major League's all-time hit record holder, Pete Rose, died at the age of 83. CNN's Andy Scholes has the story.
On the field, Pete Rose did everything all out. His famous headfirst slides excited fans, earning him the nickname Charlie Hustle.
I played the way you're supposed to play. That's all I did. I played the game the way you're supposed to play the game.
During his 24 seasons in the majors, Rose collected 3 batting titles, was a 17-time All-Star at 5 different positions, won a Most Valuable Player award, and 3 World Series rings. But his most memorable achievement came in 1985 when he broke Ty Cobb's all-time hits record, and it's a record that still stands today. Rose retired in 1986 but remained manager of the Reds for 3 years. But in 1989, his storied career took a dramatic and shocking turn, one that tarnished his baseball reputation forever.
The odds finally caught up with Pete Rose, and Judgment Day arrived this morning. After 6 months of denials by him, delving by baseball, and delays through the courts, Pete Rose was banished from the game for life.
My whole life has been baseball, helping baseball. And I know I messed up in baseball. I got suspended from baseball, not for betting on baseball. I got suspended on baseball for hanging around with undesirables. Undesirables are bookmakers. Because in Cincinnati, when you wake up, you can't go make a bet unless you make an illegal bet. That was my problem.
Rose received a permanent ban from baseball after it was determined that he not only gambled on games while he played for and managed the Reds, but that he bet on his own team.
I'm not going to sit here and whine about the mistakes I made because I'm the one that was wrong. I'm the one that's paying the price. The most truthful thing I could ever sign is I'm sorry I've been on baseball.
In 1990, Rose also served 5 months in prison after pleading guilty to 2 charges of filing false income tax returns.
In this country, if you're penalized to do something and you do your sentence, go on with your life.
Though Rose's play on the field would have put him in the Baseball Hall of Fame decades ago, his off-field issues prevented that from happening, and having the game he loved taken from him was something Rose struggled with for the remainder of his life.
I can't answer why I've never been given a second chance. I don't know. But if I'm ever given a second chance, I won't need a third. I'll be the happiest guy in the world. And I believe baseball is a better sport if I'm in it. I believe that.
Thanks, Andy. Pete Rose never reached his Hall of Fame dream, but he'll always be remembered as one of the game's best players. That's all I have for this week's Look at Sports News. I'm Julian Salata Ramirez. Now back to you, Greg.
Thanks, Julian. Former President Jimmy Carter is about to make history. Carter turns 100 years old Tuesday, becoming the first president in U.S. history to hit the centennial mark. A number of events to celebrate are in the works. That includes a flyover of military jets over his hometown, Plains, Georgia, where a naturalization ceremony and concert will be held. According to family members, his birthday wish is to vote in the presidential election. The former president entered hospice care in February 2023 after a series of hospital stays. He is a survivor of metastatic brain cancer and liver cancer and underwent brain surgery after all in 2019. That's all for Chabot News this week. Thanks to all the students and staff in the Mass Communication Department. Here are Chabot Colleges for making this production possible. You can watch anytime online at youtube.com/Chabot TV. Stay tuned to KCTH Channel 27 on Comcast for more Chabot TV.